Hi, everybody. It's Linda G, and I got Mel here. I look a little pasty.
Oops, I need to turn notifications off.
Oh,
We'll be seeing each other soon.
I know I've been sorting myself out, kind of getting my stuff together in the spare room with my suitcase, figuring out what I'm taking.
I wouldn't bring a lot. That I don't know.
Well, one suitcase fills my underwear, my JCPenney underwear.
The Valley High.
Oh, tell them about Belly High.
Oh, I gotta find it. It was hysterical. Let me wait. I just gotta find the messages.
Well, what it is there's could be hurricane. Right now it's a tropical storm coming up through Florida, and the trajectory puts it landing in Chicago Saturday, I think.
Right.
Maybe 40-mile-an-hour winds, but it won't be a hurricane anymore when it gets there. It'll be a tropical storm. And I told everybody on our mutual email, oh, boy, do I love a good storm. I love to stand in the rain with the wind blowing and my nightgown singing Valley High. Whenever it was a storm, when I lived at home, I was just a young girl, I would do that. My mother was so pissed. I would go out in the storm. I love the wind.
Well, the weather in Chicago is about as predictable as Donald Trump in a political convention. So there you go.
Yeah, I told everybody be sure to bring, rain. Although it's not going to be cold, it's just going to be rain.
I don't know. I've gotten 3 different weather reports, so who knows? It's like they say, if you don't like the weather in Chicago, wait a few minutes, it'll change. So
there you go.
It'll be a little chilly at night, so I'd bring, I'm bringing safari pants. They unzip during the day, and they're long pants at night, and just my Aloha shirts and a light jacket or something. That's it.
Well, you're a guy. You don't have to bring all that makeup and shit.
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay. All right, sweetheart.
We have 2 openings. And at this late date, if anybody cancels, it's not refundable because everything is already paid for. Like 7 days.
For all the teachers, their flights, hotels, the venue.
The venue, the food, the entertainment, everything. So if you cancel within really 7 working days of the event, it's not refundable.
They're not going to refund you.
No, I asked. I had 2 cancellations. Unfortunately, they're not going to get refunded because they canceled yesterday or the day before. And when I called the venue, they're not going to refund the money. So
I can't. They've already the food for that many people.
They've already bought the food and everything.
Oh, everybody knows, especially our age crowd. They know about that.
Right. So we have 2 openings. If you're interested, call my office 847-590-5411. We're not there today, but we will be there tomorrow. 847-590-5411. There will be somebody to call you back. Obviously, if you're in a state far away, it doesn't behoove you to do it because a plane fare alone would cost you a lot of money. But if you're
it's too close. It's too close to the date.
And that's another reason why you get your money refunded, because we've held these places for you for this amount of time, and at this late date, we can't resell them.
Yeah. So I had that happen with Sedona when I used to do Sedona. The good news is that as soon as somebody had to cancel, we would get somebody else to take their place.
Well, we had a waiting list, and what happened is we had other cancellations, and as soon as they did, we filled them because we had a waiting list. But then, 5 days prior to the event, you have 2 people cancel. Well, actually, there were more, but you have, a couple cancel. You just, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Because the wait list was exhausted at that point.
Thank you guys for your questions.
Yes, thank you. All right, so Linda, you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. So Linda asked, will Governor Abbott's evil deeds be revealed to the public?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Okay, I think we've discussed this before.
Yeah.
Let me just do a 3-card on him.
Um,
Hold on.
while you're pulling your 3 cards, I'm going to pose another question. I know the polls really can't trust them,
You
but
can't.
it's a neck and neck race in the swing states, but there's still a long time before the election. A lot can happen, in 5 weeks. So we'll ask about that too.
Did we or did we not say that Trump wasn't going to debate her again?
Yes, we did. We said
I
he would.
could have swore I said that. And then what happened is the news media came out and said October 23rd, Kamala's agreed to CNN. So it was almost like it was a done deal, which surprised me. And when I threw on it, of course she would win, but the cards were perplexing because it wasn't addressing Trump. I even thought, is somebody else going to come in? And what it was the media announced that, but failed to tell everybody this isn't a done deal.
Right. Well, Trump said today he's not going to debate. I heard him say he's not going to debate because he's already been in 2. Yeah, because he knows he'll get his butt whooped. But
anyway, Abbott will face judgment, you guys. Mostly about underhanded monies or things he's doing. It might not be till next year. Well, it won't be till next year. It'll take 2 years total. But I want to ask you something real quick before first of all, I want to announce that my cousin Jim, Jim, not feeling good at all. He's on hospice. He's a little tired of waiting around, and I would like everybody to say prayers for him if you can.
wow.
And
I was thinking of Sue really strong for the last couple of days. And
yeah,
I
he's
thought,
been struggling. So she wrote me this morning and he wants to talk to me. So I'll talk to him this afternoon.
well, I'll give him a call later and tell Sue I've been thinking of her
Okay.
for the really strong.
Yeah, probably because she's going through so much.
Yeah.
So what about, real quick, I'm going to add this real quick. And I told the person that asked me, I would ask, West Texas is going through a drought. Do you see that changing up?
I'm sorry, say again.
West Texas is going through a drought.
Well, I see a lot more droughts in some states, a lot more flooding in others. Record inclement weather. So I don't think the drought's going to end anytime soon in West Texas. I think it might even be next year before that drought eases up a little bit.
I'm thinking it's going to take it's going to ease up, but it might take a year or 2.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I mean, even in Europe, I've never seen that heavy of a rain for that long of time through 4 different countries.
I told you it was raining in Europe. You should see, was it Cannes? How do you pronounce it? France?
Cons, I think.
It's totally flooded.
Right. It was, we had one nice day in Amsterdam and we said, so Germany was just deluge. It was like hail one day. And I was sick and I have to get up and go on the tours. I did. And I was, put my smiley face on, but I get back to the ship and I'd go right into my cabin and go to bed.
Yeah.
Lucerne was rainy and up on the top of Mount Pilatus. Normally there wasn't white caps up or snow caps up there when we were there. But one day it was, when you could see up there, we got a glimpse and it was, there were no snow caps. The next day, we got a more clear day and it had snowed up there for 2 nights. And so the white caps or the snow caps were beautiful, but it's really unheard of this time of year.
Wow.
So, and we went up there. So we went from 80 degrees in Amsterdam to like snow in Mount Pilatus. It was pretty cool.
Wow.
But I mean, it's all over. And I did some research and understand that Central Europe is getting hit the worst with the climate change. So, I hope the drought in West Texas ends tomorrow at 2:30, but I don't see it that way.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But I remember when Georgia was pretty near dry. It was terrible. And I remember seeing rain coming. But it took they had to have water shipped in, but now they're okay. So you ask the next question.
Well, as far as Abbott was concerned, I pull a 10 of diamonds, which is really a death card. He's got to watch his health, but after this, it's the death of his political career.
Yeah, because when Trump goes down, a lot of them are going down.
Right. Well, I just have one I thought of, and then I'll ask another one. I watch the polls, which you should never do,
Don't
but
watch them.
in the Sunshine States, like Arizona, I think North Carolina, and there's another one that Trump has just a small edge over Kamala, but they're within the margin of error. Well, a couple of them are, maybe a point above margin of error. But I thought to myself, how can a convicted felon?
How can anybody vote for him?
Right. Well, because in those states they said, well, because when he was a president, he did well for them, economically. I'm like, what?
Well,
So,
people were talking about, Joy Reid was saying, everybody says, we're going to vote for him because he's going to give us a stimulus check. He never gave anybody anything.
mm-mm.
He was forced to do that.
He never did that. So I guess, people are nervous now about the election, and I still see Kamala
No,
winning.
you guys, I've been telling you, she will win and she'll win big.
Good.
But David Feldman, my favorite guy, had the nerve on one of his shows the other day to say, well, the Republicans are going to take the Senate. No, they're not.
Well, if they lose one of those seats in the North or South Carolina, they could lose the Senate, but I don't think they will.
No, they're not. They're going to win. They're going to beat Cruz.
Right. Right.
And there's another big name that's going to, I think, well, I can't remember, Rick Scott or something. And I see Tester winning, barely, but winning.
I see him keeping the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
All right. Here, Michelle Bolden says, hello, Mel and Linda, love you both. Thank you. My question is, will they discover that the people who attempted to assassinate Trump are from inside the Republican side? The one, I don't think so. Well, I think the one might have been radicalized, but this last one, you know what? It seemed really suspicious to me.
The guy that didn't even get off a shot?
Correct. That, I don't know. I'm not saying that Trump arranged it. I don't mean that, but something just didn't feel right about it.
Well, if there's a true assassin, it'd be more like the first guy up on the roof and fear.
Right.
There would be professionals doing this. This is John F. Kennedy was a hit, not by a loner. It was inside.
John JFK was an inside job. I was a professional.
Yeah.
But Trump can get some momentum with this. Yeah, it almost took another bullet for the American people and blah blah blah. You'd think they'd start talking about gun control, but nope.
Yeah.
All right. Your turn.
Well, Merrick Garland, this is from Lone. Will Merrick Garland be publicly held accountable for his lack of drastic action in the face of blatant criminal behavior? Now, I listened to Lev Parnas yesterday on Twitter. He did some sort of where you can go listen to him being interviewed. And people were complaining about Merrick Garland. He said, let me tell you something. And why didn't Merrick Garland lay into Bill Barr? And he said, listen to me. Bill Barr, as much as you think, he would make things magically disappear. He was like a pit bull for Trump. But he did have his limitations on how far he would go. For instance, the election wasn't rigged. He told Trump that. Then he was Trump's enemy. But it's almost like Merrick Garland didn't crash into it because he worried about Bill Barr, which is interesting.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I like Merrick Garland. Now everybody.
I do too, but they're all trying to act like he's lazy, he's this.
No, Merrick Garland, and I've said this a million times. I've said it when ever since he's been the AG, that he's methodical. And he's not just going to jump into something unless he knows that he's got a case. He's just not going to throw something on the wall to see what sticks. Like that whole Trump indictment thing and all of that with that appointment of Jack Smith. My guide showed me Merrick Garland whispering behind closed doors about doing something with this for a long time before they even came out with it. And, everybody was, well, what's Merrick Garland going to do? He needs to hurry up and do something. And, your guides, my guides showed us both that he would do something. And he did. He appointed Jack Smith.
Yeah.
And that was
Pitbull.
brilliant.
The Pitbull.
Pitbull. So Merrick Garland did take action. My intuition tells me that Merrick Garland had so much going on. It's like, where the hell do you start?
Well, his own administration had Trumpsters in it.
Correct.
He had to filter out the ones who were telling on him.
And Trump did so much. It's like, okay, we triage it. Where do we start with it? It's like, it's like an emergency room triage and a system of allotment based on needs. So the more serious patients get the treatment first. And I think the most serious crimes are the ones he paid attention to first.
Right. And even Biden, when he got in office, said, I'm not taking any Secret Service that was under the Trump administration.
No. Okay. So I
don't
mean,
think they deleted text messages. That is so illegal.
Exactly. I don't think Merrick Garland was being lazy. I just think that there was so much criminal stuff Trump did. It's like, where do we start and where can we get?
He couldn't trust his own people. He had to filter through.
You couldn't. So that's my take on it.
Okay.
All right. Wicolia, I says, hi, Mel and Linda. Can you tell us if there's any significance to the mini moon we're going to have for a couple of months? That's the first I've heard about a mini moon, but
isn't it just like it's not a moon, it's a piece of material.
I don't know what it is, but
it's like one of those things that fall to Earth like an asteroid.
Yeah, like a meteor.
Yeah, I don't know why it's hanging there for as long as it does. I'll have to look it up.
I don't think it's going to be anything bad. I don't think it's a harbinger of
my guy just said this has happened before. Nothing
right.
to worry about. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, all those government officials that went to Russia on July 4th, will they be held accountable for treason? Absolutely. Jack Smith has the big sack ready to go. See, he's waiting to get Trump on January 6th, and then he boom, 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 starts hitting all of them, including Mike Johnson.
I think they've got informants from within the Putin administration, some high ups in Russia. I don't know if it's oligarchs or who it is, but they're going to come forward and give. I think some already have to give Jack Smith information.
Right.
Okay. Priyanka says, hi guys, what do you see for the future of right-wing podcaster Ben Shapiro? He has millions of followers, but all he does is spread hate and disinformation. Will he ever face any kind of karmic justice?
Well, what's going to happen is, now don't forget, it's not up to us to determine who faces it and who doesn't. But what happens is he's losing his grip. And the reason he's losing his grip is after Trump loses and all these people are upset because all these people have been losing and still standing behind their master. And then when they totally lose again, and he'll either take off or I don't know what Trump's going to do, but it doesn't feel healthy. Everybody who thought that he was, saying his name was going to bring him to the forefront, all of a sudden people are like, yeah, no, I'm not into this anymore. And that's when he loses his grip.
My feeling is, he'll still have followers, but it'll kind of go the way that Rush Limbaugh did.
Just kind of slowly drown.
Correct. That's what I pick up.
Well, this is a good one from Barb. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Will Barron Trump ever enter politics down the road?
No.
I never saw it either.
His mother will keep him out of that.
I think him and his mom are gonna move someplace else.
In fact, he'll disassociate himself pretty much from the Donald.
Yeah.
Because my feeling is Melania doesn't want to have that much to do with Donald's other children.
Oh, listen, I've told this story. Why? It's from Stephanie, her assistant. And she really believed in Melania. And she's the one that wrote Melania and said, could you make a statement on Twitter and saying about the January 6th, please, everybody, calm down. We mustn't do this kind of stuff. And she said, no. She wasn't going to do it. But she said, remember that speech Melania did that was copied word for word from Michelle Obama's? Well,
Right.
you know who gave her that speech? Ivanka.
Oh, Ivanka.
Ivanka told her, we got your speech, no worries. It was one of her first speeches.
Yes, I remember that.
They gave her Michelle Obama's speech word for word.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Trump didn't do anything about it.
Nothing. Yeah, she doesn't get along well with his children. So I think you're right. I think she and Barron will just move somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
Okay. Jay Shonard says, my love to the dynamic duo. Thank you. Trumpers in the Board of Elections headquarters in Georgia have passed a measure requiring all of the voters in Georgia to be counted by hand. Will this be blocked? Gail Swift answered this one very well. She said, this board cannot pass any measures. They can only make suggestions to the Attorney General of Georgia. Our Attorney General has already said it's too late to make this change. Mail-in ballots have been sent out. They can go over AG to the Congress, but doubt they will override. The Board of Election headquarters in Georgia, the Trumpers that passed whatever this measure is, I don't see it going anywhere.
I don't either. I see it being stopped. It's so ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Including that woman that tried to send out international Montana votes and left Kamala's name off of it.
Right.
She'll be in big trouble for that, by the way. You see, the only way they can win is to cheat.
Correct.
Yeah, and they accuse us of cheating all the time.
And if they do win, it's because they cheated.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Joseph said, why do I keep seeing lights go on and off, or lights go on at night when I get up to pee? What are they?
Oh, those are orbs. They're spirit guides.
Okay.
Maybe that's when they get your attention, when you have to pee.
That's in middle of the night, so it's definitely something visiting.
It is. I don't think it's ET. I think it's spirit guides. All right. Super Sean's mom says, hi, Mel and Linda. According to reports, MSNBC and David Feldman, 45's ground game to win is to have state electors not certify. Have it go to the Supreme Court, who will send it to the House to vote on the winner. Each state, 50 states, gets counted as one vote. There are more red states than blue states, so 45 wins. Is that how this will play out?
No. I
Oh.
watched David Feldman. I love him, but he's in that same video, that's where he said the Senate's not going to get controlled by the Democrats, and he's wrong.
Well, but I think, though, and I had picked up on this a long time ago, and I think so did you, that Trump was going to try to mess with the electors again, the last election and this election, to try to get them not to certify. But I think, and there's going to be something uncovered again, that he put more fake electors in and all this and all that. But I think in those states, isn't it state law that the electors have to certify? Are they prosecuted under state law?
Right. And listen, the other thing is, Merrick Garland and the DOJ, they've made it very clear. This voting and the January 6th are going to be considered as big of an event as the Super Bowl. All hands on deck.
Absolutely.
They'll be watching it like a hawk.
It's going to be huge.
Okay. Well, this is interesting. Mary Lou said, do you see Ethel Kennedy chastising her son for his idiocy?
She's not even talking to him.
No, well, I don't feel she's well. I feel maybe a little bit of Alzheimer's going on here.
She, I picked up illness all around her, and it's not long for her at all. But
Yeah, I just feel, like even her family is saving her from the information because she's just barely surviving right now. That's what I got.
the rest of the family's not talking to him though.
Oh, I know.
And
They said he was a wonderful. Did you see that pretty girl that had an affair? She was engaged to get married, had an affair with him in 2020, in this year, while she interviewed him for something. She was a reporter. She lost her job, or she's taken out, with Robert Kennedy Jr. And he's married, by the way. Of course, the one thing the Kennedys always have been known for was being cheaters.
Slandering.
That's the one thing you can just stamp on the marriage certificate. That's who he is.
Yeah. There's going to be more scandals that'll come out about him.
Yeah, I'm almost feeling nothing on him. Like nobody's excited about him.
Nobody. And in those swing states where he said, oh, he was withdrawing, but the other ones he's not. I still see, election boards saying, no, you don't get to do that.
Right, right.
Okay. This is a good one. Elaine Jordanson asks, or says, greetings, Linda and Mel. Will we know if Harris and Walz win decisively on November the 5th? No.
What?
Will we know decisively if Harris and Tim and Walz win decisively on November the 5th? I say no. It'll take a while. In other words,
No, I say yes.
well, no, they're going to win.
Yeah.
Just like when Biden won, we didn't get the election results for a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
it's not going to be the same as Biden. It's going to be more, so much so that they won.
I was thinking it might be a couple days.
Maybe before they stamp everything, but you're going to know, unlike before.
Okay.
And it took a couple of days. That's my hit. You have your hit. We'll see which one was right. But they're going to win for sure.
I'm going to win. I just don't think it's on November the 5th. It could be November 6th or 7th or 8th. I just don't see it right. Because on that day, they have to wait until all the write-ins get counted. Usually it'll take a day.
All these years, except for when Trump was in office, we've never had to sit and wait to find out who was president.
I know.
All these presidency, and I've lived through many of them. You always knew that night, sometimes late at night, who won. I just think he did so much complaining and crying, and he couldn't believe he lost. He's the one that told everybody, we'll see.
I remember when Eisenhower was president and when Kennedy won.
Yeah, I can't think back that far. I thought you were younger than me.
I am, but Kennedy won. He came to office in 1960, I think.
Yeah, but did it show right away? I know it was very close.
Yeah, it was. I was born in 54, so. All right. It's your turn.
Okay, will the arrest and conviction of Diddy and others caught up in this court case clean up the hip hop industry? Oh, hell yeah.
Hugely. Is there such word as hugely? Yes.
Bigly.
Bigly. Bigly and hugely.
Yeah.
That would be a good hip hop song. Bigly.
There's a lot of shock and awe coming. I wish I could tell you guys that Trump was part of this, but I don't feel Trump.
No.
But I do feel even Jennifer Lopez is frightened and getting a bunch of people to clean up whatever. But I do feel that he attempted or put out something for the end of somebody like, what was his famous K-Pac? What was his name?
Oh, I can't remember.
He's a rapper that was shot in Las Vegas.
I can't think.
K-Pac, something like that. And I remember reading with Third Eye Champagne, and I didn't know these rappers, and she said, who killed I want to say KUPAC or anyway, who killed that rapper? Tupac or something like that. Tupac, anyway. And I remember he told me in spirit that he knew the assassin. Somebody else did it, but he knew who ordered it.
Well, here's a question. Patricia Alberg says, love Mel and Linda's Monday chats. Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
participating.
We haven't been together in a while.
We've been for a while. Yes. Well, we're going to see each other soon. I'm excited. Tomorrow or the next day. It says, well, J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, get in trouble for having a relationship with Diddy. Years ago, rumor has it she helped him out with a few things. I don't know.
I think she needed him because she wasn't as popular back then.
Right.
I think she was attracted to what he had.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt her that bad. Do you?
No.
I don't think so. Okay. Boston Dita says, hello, Mel and Linda. Love you both. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I live in Florida. My family and I have had to move all under one roof with my mother in order to get by since housing is so expensive here. Do you see the housing cost of living in Florida getting better for the people here? Everyone I know is struggling. I hate to see so many suffering.
Yeah, it's going to change. About 2 years, sorry.
I see it starting to get better once DeSatan is out of office because what he did is made hurricane insurance so unaffordable, people can't afford it and they're moving away.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of those houses people paid millions for on the market really cheap. In Hawaii, when the land was way over speculated because foreigners came in and bought it and already at an inflated price. And then when they tried to sell it, they couldn't, and they were making pennies on the dollar. Houses they paid 2 or 3 million for, they were lucky if they got 400,000 or 500,000.
Isn't that well? Good, serves them right.
That's what I see in Florida.
Okay.
All right.
Although my friend that built a house out there was able to make money on his place. They sold it.
If you did it at the right time.
Yeah, they did. They sold it about 6 months ago.
Well, now it's different, but back when. But the same thing in Florida, I think the housing market in Florida will crash because of what DeSantis is doing with the hurricane insurance.
Yeah, he's going down.
He is going down. All
So
right.
listen, Nubia said that she's seen a lot of companies forcing workers into office 5 days a week. Will we see a trend back to hybrid working in the near future?
My feeling is hybrid is going to be the way to go in the future.
Yeah.
Because the reason companies are doing that is because they spent all that money on office space. And now they're figuring out like you don't need all that office space. So as soon as their leases are up or as soon as they can dump the property, then they'll tell people, yeah, you can work virtually or you can work hybrid.
My sister worked in San Francisco and they had several floors, her company did. And after this COVID hit, they knocked it all down but to one. And the one had the mail system in there, but pretty much each person's computer, when you're working legal stuff, you can file online now. You don't have to be down at the courthouse or anything.
Right. I would rather be in business for the electronic systems to put all those, people working from home in place, and also maybe to sell the computers because it's going to make laptop sales go sky high.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anna Popovich asks, how long will MAGA survive if Orange loses?
Barely. When you said that, I could see all these people drowning and putting their hands out.
I mean, they'll still go on for a bit, but not like, it'll be like what happened to the Tea Party. Remember that?
Yeah, one day they were hot, and the next day they were nothing. McCarthyism, one day it was there, the next day it was gone.
No, I heard Bill Maher say, and I never thought I'd say this, that Trump is finally facing his downfall.
He said that?
Bill Maher did, yeah.
I never watch him.
I'm probably misquoting him, but But I heard him say it, and I'm like, wow.
Because if anybody would make it where Trump is winning, it would be Bill Maher.
Right, right. But
He's got this thing that he likes to give you the worst case scenario.
so she also asked me if I've ever visited Croatia or Bosnia. In English, we say Bosnia, but I think in Bosnia it's Bosnia. I have been to Croatia numerous times. I've been to Serbia. I've never been to Bosnia Herzegovina, but one of these days when I go to Europe, I'm going to stop there because I'd love to see Sarajevo, and I've heard it's beautiful. It's all part of the former Yugoslavia. But Croatia is an absolutely beautiful country. It's on the Adriatic, and I would suggest people going to see it. And also that little coastline of Bosnia, and also Montenegro. I've never been to Slovenia, but that's north of Croatia. One of these days I'm going to go there too. But Croatia is a beautiful country, and the people are wonderful. So, yes, Anna Popovic, I have been to Croatia.
Hey, listen, what do you think? What's going to finally happen with the Biden administration telling, because he just met with President Biden, President Zelensky just met with him. What's going to happen when they finally say, go ahead and use our missiles to bomb Russia?
Well, if Trump gets in, he's going to say no.
Oh, no, Trump's not going to get in, but go ahead.
I think it's going to help expedite into the war. And I pulled a card, and I just pulled the 3 of spades, which means phenomenal luck. It means all goals attained for Zelensky and for Ukraine. So,
Wow.
what's concerning me is this Israel thing attacking Lebanon. That's frightening to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's going to escalate more, but I think Netanyahu wants that escalation. But I still see Netanyahu being taken out by his own people,
Really?
by the citizens of Israel.
I love it, my friend. I love it.
Okay, it's your turn.
Oh,
Well, it's my turn.
yeah, because nobody asked that question, but I wanted to ask you.
Hello, Mel and Linda. Will the political parties break into 4 in the future, like in the UK? When do you see the MAGA cult going away permanently? Well, it's on its way out.
Yes.
I keep seeing a third party coming, something like a progressive workers party or something. I see a third political party coming. I think once Trump is gone with the MAGAs, they'll try to gain strength, but they won't.
They won't.
They're going to
They're
go
not
by.
going to be able to collect, and nobody will listen to them.
I see it coming
And
back.
don't forget, after Putin's gone, a lot of stuff about Trump's going to come out and what he has on all these people.
It's going to be big. I see the Republicans going back at some point more to the old order Republicans, what it was before the Tea Party and before the MAGA stuff.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Is it my turn or your turn?
Your turn.
Oh, okay. How does Bannon feel about the pictures in his mom's book? Barron, how does Barron feel? Oh, I don't know anything about the pictures.
I don't either.
I don't either. I don't know if it's the nudie she did. I don't know why she would put it in the book. Okay. Okay, so I can't believe I went down, and then what happened is okay, so how did Matt Gaetz, thank you, Denise, avoid prosecution the last time when even his buddy Joe Greenberg, who cooperated with the Justice Department, got sent to jail? Matt Gaetz' time is coming, you guys. I don't want you to worry. I've always seen when Trump goes down, it's bada bing, bada boom.
I have never seen Matt Gaetz out of trouble. I think they just put it on hold right now.
Yeah.
And I think the reason they did that is because they didn't want some sharp defense lawyer questioning the credibility of a convicted felon as a witness. That's why.
And also he bugged McCarthy to get him out of trouble, and McCarthy refused. And then he had him kicked out of Congress.
I think the
This
thing,
is coming to bite them in the rear, you guys.
you know, Santos thought he was above the law too, but they got him. The same with Matt Gaetz at some point. I see Matt Gaetz going to jail. I always have.
Right, right.
You know, he thinks his family can buy him out of it, but they can't.
They'll spend a lot of money trying to buy him out of it, though.
Yep. Okay, Anna Hutchinson asked, will Bob Casey defeat McCormick in Pennsylvania?
Who's in now, McCormick?
I see a Democrat winning in Pennsylvania.
Which one's the Democrat?
I don't know, but I see a Democrat winning.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to ask one question. Bob Casey is his name?
Will Bob Casey defeat McCormick in Pennsylvania?
Bob Casey. He's a Democrat. Will Bob Casey win? Yeah, tomorrow I'm flying first class, my friend.
I hear yes.
Because the seats are so much more comfortable. Oh, Bob Casey win. Just give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Oh, Bob Casey win. Yeah, triumph. Holy cow. Triumph. He's got the world. He's got, look at this, raking in the just rewards. He's going to win. Definitely.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
Oh, so McCormick is the outsider. David McCormick faces an uphill battle to unseat Democrat Senator Bob Casey. Okay.
I'm sorry, say again.
It's Bob Casey is the one in office now. And they're saying, Newsweek is saying that McCormick has, or the other guy has a real hard time being able to unseat him.
Okay, good.
I just keep feeling Tester winning. I could be totally wrong. I feel it's going to be close. Now, Tester might be one of them that they take a couple of days before they announce he's the winner.
Right. Okay. Yeah, probably maybe that's what I was feeling. Anyway, I see a Democrat in Pennsylvania. Okay.
I'm going to look at Tester real quick. Go ahead and find another question. Oh, Tester's going to win.
It
It's
says,
a done deal.
but Bob Casey defeat McCormick was the question.
Yeah, that's a yes, but I just threw on Tester.
Oh, I got you.
On my own, just because I kept feeling him winning. I feel it's close though. And
Gotcha.
he's gonna win.
Got you. Okay. MSDJ says Secretary of State Christy Jacobson left Kamala Harris's name off the Montana.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah. What is going to happen and will be investigated? I think it was just the online one. It was a glitch or something,
It's
supposedly.
the international ones.
But I see it back on.
It wasn't a glitch. She did it deliberately.
Well, she's going to be in trouble for it, but it's not
going to be in huge trouble for it.
It's not going to affect the outcome of the election.
No, it's not. Just like I told everybody, that Robinson guy, the Craig one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's nuts.
Yeah. Listen, even with them finding that porn information, I told everybody in my last video, he was going to lose. Doesn't matter about the porn. He's going to lose.
He's going to lose big time.
But big names are pouring money on him, if you can believe that.
You know, it's just about them keeping the power and buying the elections so they can get their own stuff passed. And that's nothing new in American politics.
Right.
I mean, it goes back to the Nixon years were notorious for that.
Yeah.
You know, there was a book, I think, called The Buying of the President. It was years ago, but I remember it.
Well, so, even John Kennedy had his father with all that money that helped him.
Correct.
And also the mafia helped him because of the father. And they were mad that Kennedy wasn't in their pocket.
Right.
Even Frank Sinatra was mad at Kennedy.
Okay, your turn, right?
No, it's your turn.
Okay.
And this should be our last because it's going on 11.
The Sokogo, maybe you can answer this question. If Biden passes before November, does Kamala become 47th president? Well, he's not going to pass before.
He's not going to pass. I don't see it at all.
And then
But I do see maybe that President Carter will pass before January.
He's still living though. He said he wants to live to cast his vote for Kamala.
Well, I don't know if Georgia has mail-in votes.
Well, I still see him voting. And Carter, he's not ready to cross over just yet. He's still hanging on.
Did you just call me? Somebody from Chicago called me.
It was me. I called about an hour ago.
Oh, no. This is Sabrina from National Enterprises.
Oh, I gotcha. As we were just talking about that. So when
I called them to ask them, you know, how exactly do I get to the enterprise? And you answered it for me.
Yeah, when you call her, that, you know, call her back and they'll tell you.
I'll call her back and say, anti-mail, let me know.
Yeah, right. She'll go, what the hell does he know?
We forgot to get some matching outfits for the show.
There you go.
We should have had some professional seamstress put us together a nice little top and action.
I had a letter written to thank my volunteers, but my printer at work, I ran by there this morning and it's not working. I don't know why. And the one at work, the one here at home is a little off. So if I don't get the thank you letter printed to the volunteers, my apologies.
You can always mail them out.
Yeah, it's true. But I just wanted, well, publicly, I wanted to thank our volunteers. So that will be Gary. That will be Nancy Regan, Beverly Kirby, Rosaire Hall, Vinny, and Dale Kushke, Deanne's husband. And there's somebody I think I'm missing, and if I am, I apologize.
Oh, don't forget Gerard Butler.
There you go.
Gerard said he'd come on down and help out because he wants a sandwich.
And I do
tell me again what kind of food are we having?
And
so
I do
got a bagel for breakfast.
And I do want to thank my friend Lynn McKinney. She owns the venue, and Lodge Management Group, and Sophia Stolas, who helped put it together. That whole group over there, absolutely phenomenal. You know, for the meet and greet Thursday night, we're having a piano player playing Chicago songs. And we're going to have hors d'oeuvres, shrimp, things like that. And then Friday morning, it's bagel bar, you know, for breakfast. Lunch, you know.
I enjoy a good bagel.
Yeah, I love Chicago bagels. You know.
I just don't like salmon on it.
No, I don't like the salmon on them either. You know, one day I forget, you know, we're having like non-meat options, but also meat, you know, some little hamburger things, sliders, all kinds of good stuff. So,
wow.
You know, I've tasted the menu. And then I had Gary, there's a pizzeria, a lot of pizzerias in Chicago, but Lou Malnati's is very, very well known. And so I thought, you brought it up, Linda, why don't we go for pizza?
Because Chicago's known for pizza.
Chicago's known for deep dish pizza. So maybe one evening, the volunteers and the presenters, we can all hike over to Lou Malnati's to get deep dish pizza. And so.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yep.
Well, I'll see you Wednesday night.
Wednesday.
Yeah, because Julie and Dennis are coming and we're going to do a little celebration for Julie's birthday.
I'll try to hike into the city tomorrow night, but I've got to get a tire on my car because believe it or not.
Tell them that story. That's amazing.
My neighbor's ringtone doorbell, you know, I mean, it's got like a camera on it. She sent me a text and she's saying there's a squirrel eating your tire. I'm like, what? So I went outside and there was a squirrel munching on my tire. and I shoot it away, and there's these big bite marks taken out of my tire.
Now you gotta go replace it.
I hope the little SOB gets indigestion.
I'll tell you, my car would have been banged up because my gun would have been out and I'd shoot that son of a bitch.
Anyway,
I feed my squirrels out here. They get the best peanuts, organic peanuts. But the crows always come and steal it from them.
you got to be careful with feeding the squirrels, because the problem is people around here started feeding them. Now they're here in droves and they're eating everything.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
You know, and I said, you know, squirrels are supposed to nibble on your nuts, not your rubbers.
But you know, they're not really around anymore. Is it because of the crows? There was a little guy I used to see on and off, and then all of a sudden I don't see him anymore. But I see plenty of crows.
They won't come in the backyard because it's fenced, and Lucky will run them out. But out front, there's no fence out there. It's just parking, and I can't let her out there because she'll get out on the street. But I think the next time I see one, I'm going to put her leash on her, long leash, and just say, have at it.
Well, I let Jack go out, and you know, there'll be a squirrel sitting right there. He just looks. And
I don't know. Lucky will go after one. I just don't get why it was eating my tire. Must have been
it's the
something.
weirdest thing. I'll have to look that up.
I kind of thought maybe there was something on it I could have run over or run.
Yeah,
you know.
but then talk to the tire people, see if they know this to be true, and find out if there's some sort of thing you could put on your tires that they won't like it.
I mean, what could be worse than rubber? Wait, I got to show everybody this picture.
Okay.
It's really hysterical. Hold on here. I got it. I mean, they're eating everything. I mean, you can actually see
Usually
him.
rats do that.
That's him gnawing my tire.
That is so weird. I've never seen that before.
There must have been something on there that I ran over that tasted good for the squirrel. But look at what they did to the neighbor's lawn furniture.
That's like rats.
Now, those are squirrels, though.
Almost the same as rats.
So I don't know. Anyway. By the way, Linda, yours is the only show I've done since I've gotten back. And I haven't done any this week, nor was Sherry, because I've been so busy getting ready for the event. So I'll be back next week on a regular schedule.
Okay, good. I've been doing a lot of shows because we're getting there. Just think about it. When I get back from this event, October 5th, well, I think I get back before the 1st, but October 5th, it's a done deal. It's 1 month until showtime.
Yep. And that's when we're all going to be really busy. So I kind of enjoyed the peace while I had it. So anyway. All right, my dear. If anybody wants to come to our event, 847-590-5411. We have 2 spaces. 2 or 3, I think. Anyway.
And I got a bunch of books of my books. You bring your book. If you bought one, I'll autograph it. But you'll be able to buy, I got hard copies. And, you know, I'm not going to sell it. The price on Amazon will be cheaper.
There you go. All right, my dear. I gotta run.
Thank you, baby. Bye.
Bye.
Talk to you later.